Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Jaya Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajaya Saraswati Srimad Language. Havation Harinda Magna Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Let's go and found out Pipiti found the Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajaya Srila Bhaksan Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Lama Charja Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Shri Gaur Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhana Ki. Mathura Vrindavan Dhama Ki. Navadvip Maya Padama Ki. Jagannath Puri Dhama Ki. ISKCON Radha Govinda Brooklyn Temple Dham Ki. Jamuna Maya Ganga Maya Ki. What's it? What's the river here? Hudson River?
Yeah.
Hudson River Maya Ki. Srimad Tulsi Devi Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Say Harinam Sankirtan Ki. Sankirtan Yagya Ki. Transcendental Book Distribution Ki. Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki. Transcendental Car Protection Ki. Samvita Bhaktavinda Ki. Go Premanandi. Hope Tadas Gloria Devotee Ronitos. All glories to Assembly Devotees. All glories to Assembly Devotees. All glories to Assembly Devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Haribo. So we just came back from Brazil and Mexico and Miami, Spanish, Portuguese speaking areas. So, very nice people there. So, good to be back in the civilized world. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, today we're hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam and 2.10.4. Chapter is called Bhagavatam is the answer to all questions. Wow. Amazing. If there was just a book which answered all questions, it would be so nice. So here we go. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Stitir Vaikuntha Vijaya Posanam Tad Anugraham Manvantarani Sadharma Utaya Kama Vashannaha. Okay. Sthiti Vaikuntha Vijaya Poshanam Tad Anugraham Manvantarani Sadharma Utaya Karma Vashanaha. Sthiti Vaikuntha Vijaya Poshanam Tad Anugraham Manvantarani Sadharma Utaya Karma Vasanaha. Sthiti Vaikuntha Vijaya Poshanam Tad Anugraham Manvantarani Sadharma Utaya Karma Vashanaha.
Sitar Vaikuntha Vijaya Poshanam Tad Anugraha Manvantarani Sadharma Utaya Karma Vashanaha.
Sitir Vaikunta Vijaya
Siddhi Vaikuntha Vijaya
Poshanam Tadanugraha
Poshanam Taranugraha
Manvantarani Sadharma
Manvantarani Sadharma
Utaya Karma Vashana
Udaya Karma Vasana
Siddhi Vaikuntha Vijaya
Siddhi Vaikuntha Vijaya
Poshanam Taranugraha
Poshanam Tadanugraha
Manvantari Rani Radharma
Manvantarani Sadharma
Udaya Karma Vasanaha
Udaya Karma Vasana
Sitir Vaikunta Vijaya
Siddhi Vaikuntha Vijaya
Poshanam Tadanugraha
Poshanam Taranugraha
Manvantarani Sadharma
Manvantarani Sadharma
Utaya Karma Vasana
Udaya Karma Vasana
Sthiti, the right situation. Vaikuntha Vijayaha, the victory of the Lord of Vaikuntha. Poshanam, maintenance. Tat Anugraha, his causeless mercy. Manvantarani, the reign of the Manus. Sat Dharmaha, perfect occupational duty. Uttayaha, impetus to work. Karma Vasanaha, desire for fruitive work. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. The right situation for the living entities is to obey the laws of the Lord and thus be in perfect peace of mind under the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Manus and their laws are meant to give right direction in life. The impetus for activity is the desire for fruitive work. Please repeat. The right situation for the living entities is to obey the laws of the Lord and thus be in perfect peace of mind under the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Manus and their laws are meant to give direction in life. Are meant to give right direction in life. The impetus for activity is the desire for fruitive work. Prabhupada. This material world is created, maintained for some time, and again annihilated by the will of the Lord. The ingredients for creation and the subordinate creator Brahma are first created by Lord Vishnu in his first and second incarnations. The first Purusha incarnation is Mahavishnu, and the second Purusha incarnation is the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from whom Brahma is created. The third Purusha avatar is a Kshiradakshaya Vishnu, who lives as the supersoul of everything in the universe and maintains the creation generated by Brahma. Shiva is one of the many sons of Brahma, and he annihilates the creation. Therefore, the original creator of the universe is Vishnu, and he is also the maintainer of the created beings by his causeless mercy. As such, it is the duty of all conditioned souls to acknowledge the victory of the Lord and thus become pure devotees and live peacefully in this world, where miseries and dangers are always in existence. The conditioned souls who take this material creation as a place for satisfaction of the senses, and thus are illusioned by the external energy of Vishnu, remain again to be subjected to the laws of material nature, creation and destruction. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said that beginning from the topmost planet of this universe down to the lowest planet, Patala Loka, all are destructible, and the conditioned souls may travel in space either by good or bad work or by modern spacecraft, but they are sure to die everywhere, although the duration of life is in different planets is different. The only means to attain eternal life is to go back home, back to Godhead, where there is no more rebirth as in the material planets. The conditioned souls, being unaware of this very simple fact, because of forgetting their relationship with the Lord of Vaikuntha, try to plan out a permanent life in this material world. Being illusioned by the external energy, they thus become engaged in various types of economic and religious development, forgetting that they are meant for going back home, back to... Thank you. Just to remind everyone. This forgetfulness is so strong due to the influence of Maya. This forgetfulness is so strong due to the influence of Maya that the conditioned souls do not at all want to go back to Godhead. By sense enjoyment, they become victims of birth and repeatedly, and thus spoil human lives, which are chances for going back to Vishnu. The directive scriptures made by the Manus in different ages and millenniums are called Sad Dharma, good guidance for the human beings, who should take advantage of all the revealed scriptures for their own interest, to make life successful termination. The creation is not false, but it is a temporary manifestation just to give a chance for the conditioned souls to go back to Godhead. The desire to go back to Godhead and functions performed in that direction from the right... hold on. Long sentences here. The desire to go back to God and functions performed in that direction form the right path of work. When such a regulative path is accepted, the Lord gives all protection to His devotees by His causeless mercy. While the non-devotees risk their own activities to bind themselves in a chain of fruitive reactions. I'll repeat that sentence again. When such a regulative path is accepted, the Lord gives all protection to His devotees by His causeless mercy, while the non-devotees risk their own activities to bind themselves in a chain of fruitive reactions. The word Sad Dharma is significant in this connection. Everyone following? I saw some heads when I asked that question. If your heads came up. Sadharma, or duty performed for going back to Godhead and thus becoming His unalloyed devotee, is the only pious activity. All others may pretend to be pious, but actually they are not. It is not for reason. It is for this reason only that the Lord advises in the Bhagavad Gita that one give up all so-called religious activities and completely engage in the devotional service of the Lord to become free from all anxieties due to the dangerous life of material existence. Thank you. To work situated in Sadharma is the right direction of life. One's aim of life should be to go back home, back to God, and not be subjected to repeated birth and in the material world by getting good or bad bodies for temporary existence. Herein lies the intelligence of human life, and one should desire the activities of life in that way. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshura Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manubhistam Savitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadati Svapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaur Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mokum karoti vasalam bhagam langai tegirim yat kripachalam bande Shri Gurundina Tarinam. Sthiti Vaikunta Vijaya Poshanam Tadanugraha Manvantarani Sadharma Utaya Karma Vasana. The right situation for the living entities is to obey the laws of the Lord and thus be in perfect peace of mind under the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The manners and their laws are meant to give direction in life. The impetus for activities is the desire for fruitive work. Srila Prabhupada ki. So thank you very much everyone for coming to this class and hearing Srila Prabhupada's purport in Radha Govinda Temple, Brooklyn, New York, and wherever else you are, America and the whole world. So, I was remembering when Prabhupada's purport was running through that we want to have a life. We want to live peacefully in this world where miseries and dangers are always in existence. So it's a very topical subject matter in these days of COVID-19 and vaccination and so on. Most of us are scared and frightened, and some of us are not, but many people are, of the tribulations which are happening to us. Whether we like it or not, they're forced upon us. Of course, this is a letter from Yamaraj. Disease is a letter from Yamaraj. He's the landlord. He's reminding us that we have to quit this body sooner or later. And this letter from Yamaraj is updated in the form of COVID-19. It's the latest edition from Yamaraj. But it's always been there, and we've always been scared of death, whether we pretend it or not. This is the nature of material existence, fearing. These things are unnecessary. What's it? Ahara, bhayam, nidram, maitunam cha. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. This is conditioned life. We have this material body. So we're always fearful something's going to happen to him. So how to get the peace? How to get the peace of mind? Sometimes people on Sankirtan, they say, oh, we're looking for peace of mind. Are you looking for peace of mind? Yeah, we're looking for peace of mind. And how can you be peaceful if you're going to die? I was listening to a class, morning walk, Prabhupada was poo-pooing this idea that people die peacefully. So the Prabhupada said, well, would you like to die peacefully? If I said, okay, die peacefully, and give you this injection, euthanasia, and you wouldn't want it. No. Oh, let me out of here. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Well, that reminds me of a story, actually. You want to hear a Sankirtan story? You want to hear a Sankirtan story? Can you follow my English accent? Can you? Yeah, the Hansaduta and his party were bringing vehicles over from Europe for Sankirtan in India. And they just crossed the border from Pakistan. They came into Kashmir, I suppose. And they were staying in one dharamshala. And staying in one dharamshala, and there was a program in the dharamshala. And one of the devotees called Udvaga, if I got his name right. Are you still there, Udvaga? I don't know where you are. Maybe. He had malaria. Now you know malaria, if you've had malaria, it's high fevers and can be quite scary. But Udvaga was very confident. Now I've got malaria, I can go back home, back to Godhead. By remembering the Krishna book. Because he loved reading the Krishna book. So he thought, as the fever comes on, I'll just remember the Krishna book. And when I leave my body, back home, back to Godhead. So he got it all sorted, you know. And the devotees left him there on the gadi, or whatever you say, chata, whatever you call it, the bed. And they went off with the program. And then the fever, he told me this personally. I think he told me this personally. So the fever kept coming on and on and on. So he started to remember the Krishna pastimes. I don't know if you've had malaria, but the mind just starts doing things under the influence of the fever. So he was remembering the story, right? There's different stories in the Krishna book. You know, Govardhan Hill, Nanda Maharaj, Kama Mimamsa, all the details. And then he started to realize he couldn't remember the story. So the fever's getting to us. So then, okay, I'll chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And the fever was coming on and on. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. And then, if you've had malaria, then the mind kind of goes into circles. I don't know what it is. You don't know whether you're beginning or ending. You know, everything just becomes pear-shaped. And he started to have trouble chanting the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then the fever would go even more. Krishna, Krishna. And then he started to realize, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. And then he woke up. And all the devotees were around him. The fever had broken. Wow. That was a close shave. He didn't want to die. So that's the devotee story. Nobody wants to die, you know. Yeah. I think that's why people see these horror movies. I once saw a horror movie. It wasn't a horror movie. It was a movie of a big wave. And you saw the wave. It was a Chinese movie, I think. You're just moving down the 6th Avenue, all these avenues, New York Avenue. The wave was just moving down, and people were just running. And it showed the pictures of people running up the stairs, and then the wave breaking through the window. And it's like, God. And it's death, And when you're sitting in the cinema, okay, it's okay. It's a movie, it's all right. But when it's for real life, just imagine, Just imagine when it's for real life. Nobody wants to die. So what we want is peace. We want peace. That means actually we can't have life without, we can't be happy without peace. There's a verse in Bhagavad Gita like that. So then I remember this sloka, which I've been endeavoring to learn. Some of you may have known it, by Yamunacharya. And this sloka was quoted. It's in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's Madhya Lila. It's quoted by Rupa and Sanatana when they were Dabikash and Shakya Malik, when they were big ministers and treasurers of the government of Nawab Hussain Shah. And Lord Chaitanya was on the move. This is actually a really amazing pastime of the Lord. And just to give a bit of background to this sloka, because this sloka is about peace of mind, how to get peace of mind. And so Nawab Hussain Shah heard that this person, Lord Chaitanya, this tall kind of amazing personality was followed by thousands and thousands of people. And he was coming towards his kingdom. I forgot which place in Madhya Lila this is, but he was followed by thousands of people. And he got word of this. And Rupa Goswami, Prabhupada, he thought, oh, maybe Lord Chaitanya's in danger, because they knew that Lord Chaitanya was coming to Ramkeli. At that time, Ramkeli was the capital, it was actually just a village now, but it was the capital of Gauda Desh. And it was the capital, and so they heard that this, the king heard, and they were worried, oh, Lord Chaitanya, maybe he'll do something to this prophet. And so the king, Sri Rupa Goswami said, no, there are not many people, don't worry. He said, there's not many people. It's just a mendicant. No, the Nawab Hussain Shah said, no. He said, somebody who's followed by thousands and thousands of people, and he's not being paid, he must be a prophet, a great prophet. So he told his government, police and everything, don't bother him, let him go through my kingdom. So actually, Rupa Goswami was heading for Ramkeli. Nobody knew why he was going there. Nobody understood. Why someone's ringing. Oh, it's snooze, sorry. Dismiss. Nobody knew why he was coming. So, but actually, Lord Chaitanya was coming to meet Rupa and Sanatana, who were his eternal servants, Lalita and Vishaka, in previous incarnations. So, that night, they put on ordinary clothes. They put on ordinary clothes, and just like ordinary people, dhoti, kurta, whatever it was. And they came out at night, and they met Lord Chaitanya, secretly. And they laid down with straws in their mouth, and they offered so many prayers. And this is one of the prayers they offered. And see if I can remember it. Bhavantramevana ucharanimantara prasanta nishesha manoratantaram kadama kantaki nitya kinkara praharsharishyami sanata jivita. So this is wonderful because it's a verse that Prabhupada loved also. He quoted this verse several times. When one follows you, O Lord, Nirantara, with continually, when one follows you, obeys you continually, prasanta manorata, the mind becomes completely peaceful. Manoratam, prasanta, manoratantara, the mind becomes completely peaceful. That's the first part of the translation. Kadam akantaki nitya kinkara prahar sharisyami sanata jivita. So the second part means, when kadam akantaki nitya kinkara, when will I become your eternal servant and become prahar sharisya, completely satisfied to have a perfect master, sanata jivita. So the point is that we're all anatta now. In this material world, everyone's anatta. Anatta means orphan. Anatta means orphan. We don't have parents. We don't have parents. We've lost our parents. We're just wandering in the street. We're thinking that, sometimes we think, well, we're in charge, we're in control, like the government. And now they're pretending to send a rocket to Mars, of all places. And then another one's trying to send a rocket to the moon, costing billions. And meanwhile, people are dying. They're said to be dying of this disease and so on, So where is our master? The governments are our master. Are we peaceful under our governments? Are we peaceful under Boris Johnson? Are we peaceful under Biden? Are we peaceful? Are they really our fathers? The kings and the presidents, they're supposed to be like fathers of the people. They're supposed to look after us. Prajapati. Supposed to look after the prajas, but we're not peaceful. We're always fearful because we don't have real parents. The other day we were on Harinam in Miami, and it was Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day a few days ago, right? Mother's Day. And sometimes when we try to get people to say Hare Krishna, what is it? Hare Krishna. They're more intelligent and more intellectual people, simple people like the Afro, everyone, they start questioning. And what does it mean? Not everyone, but sometimes. Everyone, what does it mean? They don't want to say before they don't want to say before they know what it means. Sometimes we say, well, it means God bless you. Sometimes we say, well, it's a vibration. Sometimes we say, just say it, repeat. And sometimes we say it's anti-vaccine. But then on Mother's Day, because someone has sent me a nice letter actually, saying how Radha is our eternal mother. Radharani is our eternal mother. So I was saying sometimes, it's a prayer to our mother and father. It's for our mother and father. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So Sanata, Anata means an orphan. We have no purpose, we have no goal in life. We don't know what family we belong to. And if only we belong to a family, we'd feel at home. But do we really feel at home in this place of birth and death? Now, how can we feel at home when we have to die? This body has to die. So people are in a fearful state of life, like orphans. So Sanatan means with father and mother. We're no longer orphans. So this is a wonderful verse. No? When will that time come? When I will be so happy to be eternal servant and be always satisfied. Sanata Jivita, we're always protected because I'm always with Krishna, under the protection of Krishna. So this Krishna conscious movement is meant for this. It's meant for giving everyone protection and teaching them where is that protection. It's educational movement. And often I'm thinking, if only people knew this Bhagavad Gita, they wouldn't be so scared of COVID-19 and death and disease. If you know that you're eternal spirit soul, you're never going to die. Najayate mrite vakajachi nayam bhutva bhavita vanabhuyo ajo necha sasvato yam parano nahanyate anyamane sharire. This elementary idea, Watson, first class in Bhagavad Gita. The poor people don't even know this. People are being cheated out of the value of this human form of life. The Prabhupada mentions this. Wasting this human form of life. Because we don't even know we're not this body. Not this body, it's simple. Anyone can be taught this, It's not, you don't say, I hand is my hand. You don't say, I head is my head. I know is my mind, mind. Any fool can be taught this with a little bit of instruction from the Brahmanas, from devotees who understand it, who believe it, who are trained to understand it. Then the fear of death will subside like anything. Really. It's just a simple fact that I'm not this body. And I'm a spirit soul. I'm changing my body, lifetime after lifetime. Actually, there is no death. There is no death. Ajo. I'm unborn, eternal, primeval. I'm not slain when the body is slain. If only this was taught in the colleges and schools and universities and everywhere, then just imagine how people would be happy. But just now, nobody's taught that. Everyone's just taught, okay, get your bottle of beer, get your girlfriend, And even a rich man, like Bill Gates, bless his dear soul, bless his cotton socks, he's having to get divorced. So the richest man in the world and richest people, they're getting divorced because they're not happy. They're 20 years married, getting divorced. This is a disgrace, actually. In Vedic culture, this is a disgrace. In modern day, it's common. You get a divorce. And people joking about it. And of course, in the 11th canto, it describes Kali Yuga, when there's not enough money at home, and when there's no enjoyment in sex life anymore, then the couple divorces. This is in Kali Yuga, the symptom of Kali Yuga. But it means that people's minds are not peaceful. Manoratantara. When will my mind be peaceful? Be satisfied, even in old age. It's amazing, actually. My parents, they got a letter from the Queen because they had a diamond wedding. They were married for 60 years. Can you imagine that? For 6 months, that's a tough time for us in Kali Yuga. Maybe 6 weeks even. 6 days, 6 minutes. It's all over. Okay, we're divorcing. And the honeymoon's over. Let's get divorced. So that's Kali Yuga. But in respectable society, there's no such thing as divorce in religious society. Actually, Prabhupada, he was very disturbed because minds are not peaceful anymore. Because we don't understand that we're not this body. We don't see that marriage is something sacred. That the purpose of life is to go back home, not just to have sex and to have money, to have a better sofa, a better wallpaper, a better car, a better refrigerator, this is not the purpose of life. Human life is meant, different from animals. Ahara nidram maitanam cha samasyameva pashubi samana. What's the next line? What's the next line? Anyway, the last line is dhamena hi na pashubi samana. The religion is the different, or spiritual life. Sad dharma, we talk about sad dharma. That's the real purpose of human life, spiritual advancement, self-realization. So, this is an example. The richest man in the world, the other man, the owner of Amazon, he's also getting divorced, This proves they're not satisfied to have a relationship with a woman for their whole life and be satisfied. Bring up their family and, they're still not satisfied with all the money in the world. So, that's why Prabhupada came to New York, because he could see people are not happy. He wanted to make people happy. That's why he came to Tompkins Square. So as he sat there, because he had the Maha Mantra. He knew that this would give real happiness and peace to the whole world. That this was the actual enactment of the peace formula. Peace formula, we all know peace formula. Bhoktaram yagitapasam savalokam sarvinam sarvutana kyavamam. But how to make the peace formula? How to make it? How to bring it about? How to be practical? What's the practice of the peace formula? That's chanting Hare Krishna, the Maha Mantra, for this age. And that's what Narad Muni asked Lord Brahma. He said, how are people in Kali Yuga going to be peaceful and happy? And Lord Brahma said, Iti shodaka sam nam nam kali kalma sanasanam nata parata para sava veda. Iti shodaka sam nam nam kali kalma sanasanam nata parata paya sava veda. If you study all the Vedic scriptures, you won't find a more powerful mantra than these names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Because they destroy all the bad qualities of the age of Kali. Destroy all the bad qualities. They awaken the spirit soul to his real nature as a servant of God, servant of Krishna. So this is our whole business now. And unfortunately, there's only a few people here today. If only there were millions wanting to hear. So we have lots of work to do. That's the Sankirtan movement. And Prabhupada's written all the books. And we're distributing the books and the Maha Mantra and the Prasadam. It may seem like a hopeless task. But Arjuna thought it was almost like a hopeless task. Bhishma's on the other side. All the other armies on the other side. Krishna's army is on the other side at the Battle of Kurukshetra. So how are they going to win? Impossible. But what? Krishna is the chariot driver, Parthasarathi. Krishna is the chariot driver of Arjuna. So Krishna is in charge. So we don't have to worry. We're on the winning side. Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki. Haram Vichayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Any questions, please?
Thank you, Maharaj, for such an amazing lecture. Actually, I was reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada, so you mentioned that Srimati Radharani is our eternal mother. So Prabhupada mentioned that Durga Devi is the shadow of Srimati Radharani in this material world. So is she also our mother because she is trying to give us miseries and telling us that this is not a place for you? Is she also
Bhumi? You said Bhumi Devi?
Durga Devi?
Huh?
Durga Devi.
Durga Devi, yeah. The schoolmistress is always has to punish. Prabhupada gives an example, that there's a torture for school children. You know the torture? Because they might say this is children's abuse. What they do is the two kids are playing around, okay? So they take the two kids, you hold on, you pull his ear and you pull his ear. And they're pulling each other's ears. See, like that? And the more you pull your friend's ear, the more he pulls your ear. And that way they learn the lesson. So this is a thankless task of the school mistress. I remember actually when I was in very primary school, it was called Cedarhurst School in Solihull, Warwickshire, England. A posh school. And we used to make these rubber band, catapults. Get some paper, you make a pellet, and you get a rubber band, like this. And I shot, generally they don't hit that mark. But this boy, I was aiming at his ear, like that. And he burst into tears. They said, "Nicholas, go to the headmaster. Go and stand outside his door." Oh no. And I forgot what the headmaster's name was, but I knew it meant the whack. Whoever went outside the headmaster's door was trembling. Oh no, I've blown it now. So the headmaster opened the door. "Come in." So that was it, So this is Durga. And people don't understand, We're trying hard. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara vimudatma katahamiti manyate. We're so stupid. We're trying to make a vaccine for death. We don't understand. Death is our we're condemned. Already we're condemned to death. How can we complain in the prison house? Excuse me, sir, why am I going to the electric chair tomorrow? It's not fair. It's not fair, please let me out. Sorry, you've been condemned to the electric chair. You've been condemned to cancer, condemned to COVID-19, condemned to multiple sclerosis, condemned to old age, condemned to starvation, condemned to war. Because when will we learn the lesson? The prakriti kriyamanani gunai kamani sarvasha ahankara vimud. We think that we are the doer, the controller. When are we going to learn that we're not? So it may take many births. And I was just thinking yesterday, it was interesting, I never thought, and it became more clear, that the plants and fishes and birds and nature, actually they're fortunate in one way, because they cannot create karma. They've already been thrown down. What's this? What are these? Prak-shaped armika and the covering. It's talked about. Prabhupada's talking about. People are happy. They don't know they're suffering. The tree doesn't realize he's suffering. He's so much covered by Maya. He's thinking he's happy. Oh, now my flowers are bursting, and the honeybees are coming, and my buds are burst, and my fruit is growing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. now I'm having some nice sex life as a little fish, and so on. I'm a pigeon. And they're not aware, that this is like condemned to death. They're like sheep, The Prabhupada was talking about how human beings are like sheep. And sheep are called bariya in Hindi, bariya Bhasha. So how to get a bunch of sheep into the slaughterhouse, Prabhupada was saying. So you've got 500 sheep, and you want them to go into the slaughterhouse. They're all scared. So what you do is you take one lamb, one little sheep, push it through, and they all will follow. We human beings are like that. We're all following. Okay, it's on Facebook, it's on this book, that book. We believe it. Wow, everyone take the vaccine. We'll be okay now. But can you be vaccinated from death? My dear sir, Mr. Pfizer, Mr. Moderna, so many vaccines. Do you have the vaccine for death? Mr. Biden, Mr. Johnson, do you have the vaccine for death? Please answer me this question. You out there, Hare Krishnas, are speaking on the media. Who has the vaccine for death? The Hare Krishnas have the vaccine for death. You may not believe it, and we're not surprised because you've been cheated so many times by cheating religions that say that you can, pray to God for our daily bread and you'll be happy. Yeah. No, there is a way to take the vaccine, and there is a process. And if you come to Hare Krishna movement, and Prabhupada came 1966 in Tompkins Square Park, and he started giving this Maha Mantra, which is the vaccination for death. How to become immortal. How to become immortal. I wrote a song about it, and the GBC got on my case. Really. I can sing the song, but I won't take my teeth out this time. That's what the offensive part was. Everlasting, 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 everlasting. They do not think of it, they do not think of it. How am I going to be everlasting? My birth and death is disease. You have to cure this disease. That is the real problem. These are the words of Prabhupada. My birth and death is disease. You have to cure this disease. That is your real problem. Everlasting, everlasting. They do not think of it. Then the next part. However they may be proud of their advancement of knowledge, it is childish civilization. It is childish civilization because they have no future. In the video, I pulled out my false teeth because they have. It's childish civilization, and children have no top teeth. You see, it's brilliant actually. But there was a lot of complaints about it. People are still complaining about it. It's childish civilization because they have no future. Everlasting, 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 they do not think of it. Building our roads and skyscrapers. In Mexico City recently, if you go to Mexico City, it's like a beautiful, dreamlike web of flyovers. Flyovers with cars flying everywhere. And all of a sudden, the best flyover where the train's going over, crashed, and the train went down and smashed the cars underneath. 40 people died. So this is advancement of knowledge. Make better skyscrapers, better cars. But what about death, my dear sir? So Mr. Biden and Mr. Boris Johnson, please, if you're listening, please try and solve the real problem for your citizens. Make them happy and peaceful. It's not religion, it's a science. And we have the science in the Hare Krishna movement. It's not Hindu, it's not Christian, it's not Muslim. It's a science. It's mantra yoga. You can do it yourself, in the bathroom, in the bed, at home. Anyway, chant Hare Krishna. And we can tell you how to become immortal. Srila Prabhupada Ki! Thank you very much. And we have the books. We have 2 minutes. We have so many books, 80 books by Srila Prabhupada. Please take them in all your colleges and universities. Make them textbooks also. And read them yourselves in your home. All you millionaires, Mr. Bill Gates, please. We're ready to give you a set of books. It won't cost hardly anything. We'll give you a cut price because you're a billionaire. And Mr. Amazon, we'll give you a cut price for Prabhupada's books. And we'll even send somebody to teach you, explain to you how to chant our mantra and spread this Krishna consciousness all over the world very, very quickly. And all the problems will be solved. COVID will subside overnight, almost overnight, and all disease. It'll become heaven on earth. Because it'll never become heaven, we have to die, but it'll become as good as you can get. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Thank you. Bande Krishna Nanda Kumara. Nanda Kumara Madana Gopala. Madana Gopala.